Tony, of the COVID-19 waivers that have been signed by Ohio State players. And I got to admit, as I did to all three of you, there were assumptions made by myself, and they were backed up by a number of people that I talked to that aren't necessarily the case. So just kind of run us through what these players have signed and agreed to.
Yeah, it was originally put out there as a liability waiver. And the title of the actual document is Buckeye Acknowledgement and Pledge. And nowhere in here are the two words liability or waiver. Basically, it's part of the education process that Ohio State talked about when they revealed their plans for reopening campus buildings. And a lot of that was getting the players to understand, all of the student athletes to understand their role in keeping the coronavirus out of the buildings. And, you know, some of the things on this pledge that they did have to sign in order to play athletics and to take part in their sports is, you know, if you test positive, you agree to quarantine. If you'll be monitoring yourself for a fever over 100.4, or if you've got respiratory symptoms or a sore throat or a headache or body aches, you're just open and honest with the medical staff for whatever sport you're playing. And so it's just saying that, yes, I will do these things. I will get a flu vaccination. I will stay home if I am feeling sick. I will practice physical distancing as much as possible. I will wash my hands. I will keep my personal space and shared common space and my belongings clean. This is the liability waiver that is being signed. And it says here, you know, at the bottom, it's like, I understand that COVID-19 is a highly contagious virus, and it is possible to develop and contract COVID-19 disease, even if I follow all of the safety precautions above. So they're telling you that they want you to do as many things as you can to halt this, but then also they want the players to acknowledge that not everything, you know, you can't do everything, or you can't, no matter what you do, it doesn't necessarily mean you can stop from getting this disease or the virus. And then basically it's, you know, I have read, understand, and agree to comply with my Buckeye pledge above. And then, you know, you sign it. And if you're under 17, your parents sign it, because that's the way life is. If you're under 17, your parents sign pretty much everything. They sign a grade card. They sign field trip permission slips. This is the way it has always been. This is a new thing that everybody is going to have to be doing. You're going to be signing waivers for everything for the time being if you're taking part in stuff. And waivers have been around forever. If you're going to study abroad at Ohio State, you are signing a waiver acknowledging that it may not be the safest thing for you to do. So this is just one more thing, and it blew up way beyond what it needed to. And now we get to talk about it.
Yeah, I would echo what Tony just said. I think that it was more a case of we are going to give you the facts of the situation, which are there is no foolproof way to go about this. It is possible that you may become infected as part of this process, and just kind of going into it with both eyes open, an understanding of the risks that are involved. And again, these workouts are voluntary on their face, voluntary. We use a name in quotes, but try and play if you don't show up. It's not that they'd hold it against you. It's just you'd be behind, you know, probably behind the rest of the group in terms of your conditioning and everything else, because this is going to be very intensive as they get into it, obviously, with each passing day. So to me, I just feel it's been misportrayed, I think, by a lot of people in the media. I think that opinions are split as to whether or not this would hold up in a court of law as a, quote, waiver or an indemnity for the school or the football program or the coaches or anybody involved to be sued collectively or individually. It may or may not be. And, you know, I don't think it's going to ever turn out to be a litigious thing anyway. I think if everybody can maintain the proper protocol, that I don't think we're in for any kind of negative result. Again, you can't foresee everything. When they get into the fall and figure that there'll be 70,000 people on campus every day between students and staff members and faculty, and people coming and going and delivering and whatever else. It's entirely possible that there's going to be some infection involved at some point on the campus, and managing that is going to be the biggest hurdle, it seems, at some point. So to me, I didn't feel that it was a negative thing. I thought it was a positive thing. I guess people are mistaking it for something that's negative, and in order to, again, prostitute the players and producing revenue for all the fat cat coaches and administrators. But I didn't necessarily see it that way.